Hey folks, welcome back to another video on TRK Gaming, and in this video I'm going to show you guys a quick tip on how you can deal with Akuma's demon flip. So this move apparently still gives people a lot of trouble, but all you need to do is really just investigate the tools that your specific character has, because I'm going to highlight a few of them because it will vary from character to character. So let's just use Sagat as an example, and if you are close enough, you can actually press your medium punch. Right now, this is only at a very close range with your opponent, or else this is gonna miss. Right? It's really short, but it does a good job because it will juggle Akuma, and from that point on you can actually get another move. Right? You can actually do an uppercut, and possibly you can get a tiger knee if you want. Right? Things like that. So it juggles him, but just bear in mind you have to be very close, because if you're not close enough, that's what's gonna happen. Right? Right, you can get your DP after that. This is pretty good because this has a startup of 6 frames as opposed to like this, because people would use this, and it has some success, but just bear in mind that this is slower, right, than this. But the trade-off is the range, right? So you can get some juggle. The benefit is, with this, you can probably get your opponent in the corner with a heavy tiger knee. So sometimes it depends on where you are in the stage. If you have your opponent cornered, or you are cornered, or if you're in the middle of the stage, you can vary your options. Another tool that he may have is this, but this is also slow, right? Right, and you could probably whiff the tiger knee. You can't get the TP from it, but if you have your opponent cornered, you might be able to get a juggle on the tiger knee. Like that, right? So just be careful and cognizant of where you are in the stage. If you have your opponent cornered, different options can be utilized. Another one that you will see me use with other players is like a crouching light punch. Now sometimes this could be very hard to use. It's like if you're cornered, it may work. Sometimes it's all about timing. So you see, and of course the spacing. You can actually get a TP from it. But this is all about timing. Right? And you could actually get a heavy DP from it. Right? Which is pretty good. So this one is a little more risky because this could whiff. You need a lot of good timing, precise timing with this one, to be honest. And that's how you could actually deal with demon flip. And nothing beats a good old DP. So if you notice that your opponent is doing this, just DP them, right? No need to complicate it. Those are some of the tools that you can use to counter the demon flip. But also another one that people often forget are like air-to-air maneuvers, right? So you could jump back, and better yet, if your your character has an air grab, you could also use that as well. Right? So just get creative. Right? Try to find out which buttons work really well. So for Sagat, probably jumping back and pressing light punch looks like his best option. Not really medium punch, because this misses. That's back and jumping back and pressing medium kick. That seems to be working pretty good. Right. So let me show you another example, because sometimes certain characters have really good tools, and I just want to show you one particular example, and that's with Jury, right? So Jury, remember I showed you with Sagat, you could do like crouching light punch, and then from that point on, you can actually do a DP. So something like this, right? So you could actually do that, right? But you have to time it. And that from that point, you can get your DP. Well, Jury's crouching medium punch is a really good button, right? So look at that. It never misses. Right, this is a really good anti-air tool. So if you notice that he's trying to just go for this a lot. Right, this could stop him. See how good this is? Right? Once you get the timing down, right, you have to do it pretty early. Can't do it too late. And you always are in range to get the DP. Right, so that is a pretty good tool for this character. You could do down PS, not bad at all. It's not a bad tool. You could also use this, which is fierce, and crouching fierce, right? Crouching medium punch, crouching strong is really a good tool for her specifically. And just investigate what tools you can use for your character, and you could actually get more damage than just a regular DP. And just to let you know, doing a DP could sometimes be a little risky, because if the Akuma player does an empty jump and just lands in front of you, you end up whiffing. Something like that could happen, right? See? So it could be pretty good. Right, so you see, perfect example. See, something like that could happen. You're fighting in neutral, you think he's close enough, and that's why some people say, you know, when you see Akuma flip or do the demon flip, try to go for your medium DP instead. So that way it never really whiffs, but if you use the light, sometimes it could whiff. Right, so something like that could happen. So another good example of how to deal with with Akuma's demon flip is sometimes you could extend combos. So right, so with Kimberly you could actually drive rush, do a raw drive rush, and juggle the opponent, and probably even get like a throw. Right, like that. So yeah, so you could do something like that. Right, it took me a while, but yeah, you see what I mean. Also, for characters that don't have a TP, another good example is like characters that are charged. So let's look at DJ, for example. So like what I said, he could actually use like the same crouching light punch, but you have to be close, right? And from that point, once you're charging down, you can get your jackknife, right? But this one has to be, it's kind of finicky because you have to really time it and you have to be close. So you see how I'm missing. So this works when you're actually cornered, right? So, but also for DJ, you could actually use this, and from that point, you could actually do some stuff where you could create a mix-up. This is not really a bar tool as well. Medium kick actually works pretty good. But be mindful of the range where it's effective, so like around there. And that's the thing, you need to discover with your character what works at what range, because some things just don't work. So if you're in this particular range, you could use medium kick. Sometimes you could trade, but back heavy kick is a pretty good answer here. Right, so that works. Also, same thing for Guile, but Guile has a few extra tools that he can use as well, because his standard medium kick is also good. His crouching heavy punch is pretty good as well. Right, so medium kick could help, could stop the Akuma player. Also, you can use crouching heavy punch, and once you're charging the heavy punch, the crouch, well, the down charge, once you're holding the down charge, you can get a flash kick, and it sometimes works, sometimes best in the corner once you have your opponent cornered, because if you're like in the middle of the arena, sometimes this may actually miss, right? So you see, but if you have your opponent closer to the corner, it will actually land, right? Probably if you're in the middle of your arena, you could probably try the EX flash kick. It would probably hit, but it also has to do with deal with the distance. Alright, so the closer you are, the better it is. The crouching light punch does not really work that well for Guile, like how I showed you with other characters. So you need to use this with your flash kick. And obviously people would ask question like, why do that instead? Sometimes you don't see it happening, But if you are playing for these characters, these charge characters, you should be holding a down charge. So once you see anybody jump in the air, you should be ready to deal with it, right? Same thing with DJ, right? So nothing beats a good old flash kick, right? Right? So use your tools that were given to the character to use, right? And just show you a few more examples. This is what other characters can do to deal with Akuma's demon flip. So that's it, guys. That's it for this video. Like I always say, keep practicing, keep training, keep getting better at Street Fighter 6, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Later.